We're ready.
We're ready. All right, 7 p.m. We're going to open up this up to a public hearing. The public hearing is to hear all interested persons, both in person, or not virtual, or written comments received, to take any necessary action provided by law concerning the proposal relating to the increase and improvement of the facilities of the Old Forge Sewer District in the town of Webb, that being the replacement of the pumping station located at the Steamboat Landing location at a maximum estimated cost of not to exceed $600,000. The purpose of this is to approve a bond anticipation note to have in place in order to go to bid to replace that pump station, that 50-year-old pump station. So will the town clerk please read the published notice of public hearing?
In the matter of the increased improvement of facilities of the Old Forge Sewer District in the town of Webb, Herkimer County. Whereas the town board of the town of Webb, Herkimer County, New York, has caused to be prepared a map, plan, and report, including an estimate of cost pursuant to section 202-B of the town law, relating to the increased improvement of the facilities of Old Forge Sewer District in the town of Webb, Herkimer County, New York, being the replacement of pump station, including original furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, appurtenances, I can't say the word, incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith, at the maximum estimated cost of $600,000. And whereas the capital project hereinafter described as proposed has been determined to be a type 2 action pursuant to the regulations of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, which regulations state that type 2 actions will not have any significant adverse impact on the environment. And whereas it is now desired to call a public hearing on the question of the increase and improvement of the facilities of said sewer district in the matter described above, and to hear all persons interested in the subject thereof concerning the same in accordance with the provisions of section 202-B of the town law. Now, therefore, it is hereby ordered by the town board of the town of Webb, Herkimer County, New York, a public hearing will be held in the town hall in Old Forge, New York, in said town on December 14th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time, on the question of the increase and improvement of the facilities of the Old Forge Sewer District in the town of Webb, Herkimer County, New York, in the matter described in the preambles hereof, and to hear all persons interested in the subject thereof concerning the same, and to take such action thereon as is required or authorized by law. Section 2. The town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to cause a copy of the notice of public hearing hereinafter provided to be published once in the official newspaper, and also to cause a copy thereof to be posted on the signboard of the town of Webb. Such publication and posting to be made not less than 10 nor more than 20 days before the date designated for the hearing. Section 3. The notice of the public hearing shall be substantially the form attached hereinto as Exhibit A and hereby made a part of hereof. Section 4. This order shall take effect immediately. That's it.
Thank you. She did mention that the term increase, so we do plan on making that facility a little bit bigger in anticipation of any construction that goes on over in that area, be it an addition to the motel, other houses being built, et cetera, et cetera. The plant itself is 50 years old. You cannot buy parts for it anymore. It's on borrowed time. The guys have been making parts in order to keep it running. I know for a fact on Labor Day they sat out there and nursed it all weekend to keep it going until Monday. So, are there any comments or questions? Sure.
Just a question, does that $600,000 include engineering costs?
It includes everything, and that's a not to exceed. My intention was to use the ARPA money that we were going to get next year, the other half of the ARPA money, and apply it towards that sewer pumping station. That would be up to the new supervisor if they want to do that. Scott also we have some leftover ARPA money from this year that we couldn't use that may get applied to it too. And there are grants out there. We didn't get a WIA grant in time. It's a water improvement, whatever it is, grant. I'm so bad with those. Which was a 2575 grant, which sort of gave us some money. So there's grant money out there too. They will continue to pursue that. There's a lot of money coming loose now, so hopefully by the time this goes to bid, we'll be able to shake some more out of the tree. So, that's it. Yeah, the actual estimate with engineering and everything else was about 550,000 maximum. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Not hearing anything else, I'd like to thank you for your comments and questions. Having heard everything, from those wishing to speak, will the board move to close this public hearing?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Have a motion? Barb, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you. We have to stop the camera starting.
No.
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to open up the regular meeting of the Town of Webb Town Board for December of 2021. Everybody please rise for pledge of allegiance.
Stay for a moment of silence for Bob Hall.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hang on, could you please just remain standing? Mike had a request.
Could everybody just a moment of silence for Bob Hall, used to be our tourist information man who did a very lot for this community. He started snowmobiling and he was just an icon for the community. If we could just, he passed away 4 or 5 days ago.
Oh,
If we could have a moment of silence for that, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Mike. All right, thank everyone for attending. The 2022, missed that one, organizational meeting will be held on January 3rd, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. The regular board meeting will occur tentatively on January 11th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Audit of claims will be tentatively held on January 17th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Executive session may occur this evening if it's deemed necessary. There's no correspondence to speak of other than some Christmas cards that are hanging on the door if anybody wants to see them on the way out. Bid openings. I refer to the town clerk. First bid opening would be for ultra-low sulfur diesel motor fuel and ultra-low sulfur diesel, ultra-low diesel motor fuel, winterized.
Need glasses there?
No,
No.
I'm seeing double here.
Ultra low.
Yeah, we'll go with the diesel. Total gallons, approximately 69,000 gallons we use a year. Do we have any bids?
Yeah, we have one bid.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna read one notice and improvise, so we don't have to sit through all this. So the one notice is, please take notice pursuant to resolution of the town board of the town of Webb and pursuant to law, sealed bids marked bid on the envelope will be received, publicly opened, and read aloud at said meeting to be held on the 14th day of December 2021 at 7 p.m. at 3140 State Route 28, and a contract award is the lowest responsible bidder. First one for ultra-low sulfur diesel motor fuel, January 1st to December 31st, 2022. In that bid is also ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel winterized with ultra-low sulfur kerosene 50/50 blend. That's January 2022 through March 16th, 2022. We're also going to do a bid opening for heating fuel oil number 2 grade. That's January 1st through December 31st, 2022. And we're also going to do unleaded gasoline, regular ethanol, 10%, 87 octane. That's January 1st, December 31st, 2022. Bid specifications are on file with the town clerk. All bids shall include a non-collusion certificate. Bidders must meet all specifications. Said board reserves the right to reject all bids for any reason whatsoever and to withhold the awarding of said contract. All bids to be in the hands of the town clerk of the town of Webb, Old Forge, New York, on or before 7 p.m., the 14th day of December. Dated November 9th, 2021, Nancy T. Russell. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is the ultra low. And we have one bidder for everything. So it's Buell Fuel, who is our personnel. We have a non-inclusion certificate. Okay, ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel and the ultra-low diesel fuel winterized. That is, and remember, we're only doing the differential, we're not doing the actual
Right.
fuel. It's .1595 for both of them. So the differential is .1595.
From rack price.
Right, correct.
Okay. All right, let's do a little housekeeping. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'll make the motion to accept the bid from Buell for differential price at .1595.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Barb? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next.
Okay, the next one is the unleaded fuel again, with a differential of .1725.
That's the unleaded?
That's the unleaded.
Okay. It's the pleasure of the board again. Have a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept that bid.
Mike?
Second.
Uh-huh. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Well, I'll wait till we're done.
What's that?
Nothing. Well, I just was gonna say, for the sake of the audience, that the reason that we often only get one bid is because they're so competitive that the others don't bother to compete. So it's not that we're just not getting a response from people. And I've had conversations with some of the other providers, and that's.
And we did hand out
Yeah.
5 packets,
Yeah.
so
We
we've
did.
been contacted, people just didn't bid.
We did solicit.
Yeah, we did. The next one is heating oil, which is approximately 40,000 gallons, fuel. .17, I said that backwards. Heating oil, .1810. .1810.
That's Buell again.
That's
That is
Buell.
also
Yes,
Buell,
they're
yeah.
all Buell.
And that's for the heating
It's
oil.
tough to beat them when you own the rack.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay.
From Buell for 1810.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kurt?
Kurt?
Pick one.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved. Thank you. This next resolution, I was on the phone today with Civil Service, with Steve Billings, about our court clerk position. For a little background, when Jack Graham resigned to move to Florida as our Justice of the Peace, he recommended that his court clerk be appointed interim until the next election to take his place as the justice, and she came to us, approached us, and said that there were 2 court clerks, one for each judge. She suggested Thuray was interested in being the court clerk for both, for right now. However, she's going to come close to full-time in hours by handling both of them. So I was on the phone with HR and with Civil Service today for a while. So what we're going to do is reclassify the court clerk's position, the title, so that it becomes non-competitive, so that we can pay part-time temporarily for 6 months right now and not have to make a decision as to whether to go full-time or not, if we so be it. Because my question is, she has to come up for re-election. If she comes up for re-election, is there going to be 2 judges? Do they want 2 clerks again? So I don't want to commit to 1 full-time clerk if we have 2 judges. So what we're doing, would the board consider a resolution reclassifying the town court clerk to a title of clerk to town justice, which is how all the others in Herkimer County are classified.
I understand.
Every other town in the county. This one just got overlooked because they never needed to, because we had 2 clerks. All right, so this sounds classified in most of Herkimer County, but it was overlooked here. It's the difference between a competitive and a non-competitive classification for now, is what it's going to do.
And it's just basically for the interim, correct?
Yeah, it's just for the interim.
Till the next election.
Mm-hmm. So what's the pleasure of the board? Anybody want to make a motion?
That makes sense. I wasn't sure when I first saw the
Yeah.
agenda what the point of it was.
There were a lot of phone calls today, back and forth with everybody, with Jeff, and
It seems like a good way to.
So
solve the
the,
this was Jeff's suggestion, it was also Steve Billings.
okay, the judge can appoint his own clerk,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay, so there is potential for change.
Mm-hmm,
Okay,
all
I'll
right,
make the motion then.
okay,
Second.
thank you, Mark. Let's do a roll call vote on this one,
And that was Don, right?
and Don, yes.
Councilman Gardner?
Aye.
Councilman Hale?
Aye.
Councilwoman Green?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Bergschifter?
Aye.
5 ayes.
Thank you. We'll discuss the rest of it later. CSEA contract approval. CSEA contract has been negotiated for the next 3 years, and I sent a copy to everybody to read. Would the board consider a resolution approving the contract as written? However, there is an addition to it, which was a last minute addition. It was overlooked that President's Day is not included in their contract, but it's included for the rest of the town employees. So I'd like to include that too, because they've been taking it off anyway. Follow me?
Yeah.
I mean,
But is it in the contract now?
it is now. I contacted them. They've added it to
It's not
it.
the one we have
It's
in
not
our
in this
hand
one. It
right
would be
now,
an
no.
addendum to that.
It's not in this one.
Okay.
What did we get?
President's Day is a holiday, which is what the town has, in order to mimic the, I don't know how it ever got overlooked. They seem to think that there's a signed agreement somewhere separate with Robert. And then not a clue as to where it is. So I'm doing this way. But we don't have to.
I was gonna say, is it okay to do that at this
I
point?
don't know, so.
Without the assigned, I'm just asking questions. 'cause
It's
I don't
just,
know,
just,
never-
just, it's a
haven't been in this
it's a
position
negotiated point with them. It would have been a negotiated point that
I
was
don't remember,
overlooked.
but I was part of that, but I
Yeah.
don't remember it.
No, we didn't negotiate, we didn't talk about it. It would be the equivalent of a negotiated point. I contacted them today and said, would you like to include it? And they got back to me and said, yes, we would. I said,
Of course they would.
yeah. I would have asked them why if they said no. We can leave it as is.
Got any thoughts on that, Nancy? Is
Have
that-
we been paying them for President's
They've
Day?
been taking it off.
When we did it,
What
when
the-
we did it
yeah.
in 2019, the resolution said to all employees.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at the handbook, there's an asterisk that says each union or PVA has to refer to their contract.
Right.
And evidently that got overlooked and they've been taking the holiday.
So they've been taking it and didn't have it.
Right, it wasn't in their contract, they've
Was
been
in their
taking it.
contract.
So this is a corrective measure. I have no problem with it.
It's just yeah, that's all we're doing. And it got overlooked during these negotiations because we were so intent on a few other points, the pay scale mostly.
Right.
And then I took a few things out. We negotiated back and forth.
So as long as you get page 9 before you sign it, your
Yeah.
call.
Yes. So, I mean, I have an email back that they were agreeable to it and that they would add it today. It was just brought to my attention this morning.
Actually, I wasn't even thinking, you guys, I have to abstain from this anyways. So I should probably just
I
shut
think you
off.
should tape it.
It doesn't give them any more than any other department.
What contract is it?
CSEA union contract.
Union contract.
For who? I'm sorry.
County, state, and employees. County
It's
and
like
state employees.
DPW and
Highway,
It's highway guys.
Some of them colleague.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it. Thank you.
But do they get the same, so they're getting an extra day, but it wasn't in their contract, but they've been taking it anyways, so I guess.
They've been getting the day, we're just adding it as an oversight into the contract.
They're not
Just
getting
correcting
any
it.
more than anybody else.
So next year, when they ask for whatever the new holiday is,
3 years. They already asked for that, I said no.
Juneteenth or whatever.
Whatever it is. They had another indigenous something.
I
We
think
can
there's
change,
all-
Columbus
my
Day
phone
can be
blows up
changed to
when I-
that. You
Yeah.
can just change the wording.
Yeah, they asked for that, believe me. I mean, we can just adopt it as is for now and let life go on the way it's been. You can correct it later with a resolution.
I mean, they've been getting that It's a normal holiday, it's a normal number of holidays everybody else is getting on the town too, right?
And they've been getting it.
They've been getting it, so I mean, for me personally, I have no problem with just.
So the motion would be
Making
to
a
accept the
correct
contract
contract.
with the amendment to add.
It's not gonna change schedules, it's not gonna change how life's been
It's
going
not
on
gonna change
now,
the cost of
so
ownership.
No, it's not gonna change anything.
I have no problem with
Is that a
Well,
motion?
like Barb said, all we're doing, yeah.
it. Yeah, I'll make a motion, sure.
Kurt,
Accept it.
do I have a second?
Sure.
Barb? Any other discussion?
No.
I know
I mean,
that
they're getting it anyway, so it's just fine.
it's
I just
preventing.
don't wanna add another one.
No,
Right,
no.
we're not adding, we're, yeah.
No. This one just mimics the town, what's in the town's employee handbook.
You know, why didn't they come up with that when we were in the meeting? You didn't think they'd?
They
pay
were so
attention?
busy thinking they were gonna get away with a bunch of other stuff, that they overlooked this one. So, sleight of hand. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I think we just did.
Could we have a roll call? Yeah, we talked it to death.
Councilman Gardner,
Aye.
Councilman Hale,
Yeah,
Councilwoman Green,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
I abstain.
you're abstaining. Supervisor
Aye.
Bergstresser? So 4 ayes and 1 abstain.
Okay, thanks. That was interesting. All right, the lift station amendment. The town has an agreement with GHD for the engineering of the lift station at Steamboat Landing. Would the board authorize supervisor to sign amendment number 1 authorizing GHD to oversee the addition, engineering, bidding, construction, and post-construction of the project? It was discussed at the last meeting, and we did receive an amended proposal. It's the same scope. It's just that what happened was they didn't get the WIA grant in time, and because we hadn't signed an agreement with them, he really wasn't authorized to do it with us, for us. And he also adjusted his hours back, so it went from 80, what was the last one?
81.
81,000 down to $68,540.
and that's a locked number.
Yeah. If you want a little comparison, the amendment that we did with, let me see what I did. For the sewer plant, just for the disinfection, for with the other engineers was 96,000. That was the amendment we signed with them. For that portion of that project. Just to give it to you in a little perspective. So, it's the pleasure of the board.
I'll make a motion that we sign that, do that.
Okay. So we can get it out. I'd like to get it out. It should go out to bid as
We
soon as
gotta
possible.
get that thing rolling.
Yeah, now's a good time to do it while people are planning their spring and summer work.
I'll second it.
What's that, Kurt? Any other questions, discussion? Have a roll call vote, please.
Councilman Gardner,
Aye.
Councilman Hale,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Green,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Bergstresser?
Aye.
4 ayes and 1 abstain.
So moved, thank you. Okay, would the board consider a resolution authorizing the supervisor to pay audited year-end bills and also pay any 2021 bills that arrive after January 1st, 2022? All paid bills will be given to the board for their review. It's a pleasure.
Motion.
Barb? I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? It's pretty
How
standard.
does that affect the new supervisor? You're good with this? Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of bills for December don't come in until January. And we usually pick a cutout date.
No, I mean.
And I will come in and-
supervisor, She needs to be on board with what.
Yeah.
what we're throwing at.
And I'll come in and help with the transfers. Because there's always a lot of transfers. And that was my doing, so. Okay?
Quite common.
Yeah. All right, so. Roll call vote?
Do a roll call.
Yeah, go ahead.
Councilman Gardner,
Aye.
Councilman Hale,
Aye.
Councilwoman Green,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Bergstresser?
Aye, thanks.
5 ayes.
All right, transfers. Would the board consider a resolution authorizing the supervisor to make any end-of-the-year transfers to pay the 2021 bills? A record of the necessary transfers will be provided to the board for their review. It's pretty standard.
I'll make a motion.
Who was that? Don?
Yeah.
Don? Thank you. I have a second?
I'll second.
Kurt? Let's just do this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved, thank you. One more that I didn't put on here.
Oh, really?
Yes, didn't occur to me because of with the public hearing. A resolution to approve the issuing of that bond anticipation note for the sewer pumping station over there. And we went through the public hearing. And now we need to put the money in place in order to go to bid. So I'm looking for a resolution to,
So the here.
oh, here, I can read it right off of here.
Yeah, so the resolution's gonna be, related to the increase improvement of the facilities, Old Forge Sewer District in the town of Webb, being the replacement of the pump station, including original furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, incidental improvements, and expenses in connection therewith at a maximum cost of $600,000.
Okay, so that's the proposal.
Okay, so you need a motion for that?
Yeah,
I'll make the motion that we accept that.
okay.
A second.
Sorry about that. I was busy right up till the very end with civil service. So I'll have that. So let's do a roll call vote on that.
And who was that? Was Mike?
Mike and Barb.
Okay, Councilman Gardner?
Aye.
Councilman Hale?
Nay.
Nay? Through me. Councilwoman Green?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Bergchester?
Aye.
So 4 ayes and 1 nay.
So moved. Thank you. Last on the agenda here is some changes to the employee handbook. The board consider a resolution authorizing the following changes to the employee handbook. Section 806 frees the health insurance buyout amounts at the 2021 amounts, which are as follows. Family buyout is $440.67. That's monthly, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe monthly.
1 plus 1 would be $309.24. The single amount would be $154.62. And 1 plus a child is $73.01. Right now, if people opt out of the health insurance that the town offers and can show proof that they have health insurance, in other words, someplace else, then we pay them 40% of what we would be paying towards their share of the health insurance. It has been going up. This year was a 10% increase, so I just froze the amount. It's pretty generous, the way we do it. Second, Section 802, vacation leave. After completion of 1 through 6 years, they'd be entitled to 10 days of vacation time. 7 through 11 years would be 15 days. That is a change from 1 through 7, and then 8 through 12, or 15. I'm sorry. Would be 15 days or 3 weeks vacation, and then 13 years or more is 20 days vacation or 4 years vacation time that they're entitled to here. That's it. So I'm correcting, we're reducing from 8 to 7 for the extra third week, and then for the 2 weeks, and then from 7 to 11 for the 3 weeks of vacation. And 13 years on, they get 4 weeks vacation here now. It's getting harder and harder to find employees and hire people, and we've kind of bent over a little bit to try and retain who we have here.
Silly question. What
Sure.
happens with the 12 years? There's a gap between 7 to 11.
Oh, it should read 12.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
all right.
Which
7.
one? 7 to 12 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Or 12
7
years?
through 11, 12 on.
Okay.
12 or more.
Good
It's
catch.
probably when somebody walked into my office while I was doing that.
So
Okay.
what's is
Right.
that also the PBA, is that?
That's-
same
no.
thing? That's different, huh? Yeah.
PBA is different.
Their contract is really different.
That's why I'm asking, because it's in the handbook, that doesn't mean that everybody gets the same.
No, this is what we negotiated with the CSEA.
Right, so is that just CSEA members then?
No, this is our employee handbook for the town employees.
Right.
They are mimicking us, or we're mimicking
They're
them.
mimicking us, we're mimicking, the town's gonna mimic that.
Only CSEA, not PBA.
Right.
Okay.
All right, the last one, corrective action, there's two more actually. Under prohibitive conduct, any employee who after investigation found to have committed any of the actions listed below, subject to corrective action. What we're changing is possession, use, distribution, sale, or being under the influence of alcohol or marijuana products or illegal drugs during the hours of work or while on town property or in town vehicles.
So marijuana products is an addition.
That's the only
And
addition.
so the addition is marijuana products. The reason being, it used to read just alcohol and illegal drugs. Marijuana products now are considered legal, so we had to adjust the terminology there. In section 905, again, we're going to change it, where it says no employee shall use, sell, distribute, dispense, possess, or manufacture any alcohol beverage. And again, we added marijuana products, illegal drugs, or any other intoxicating substances, nor be under the influence of such while on duty at any job site or workplace, or any town vehicle, or vehicle leased for town business, or privately owned vehicle being used for town business. This is all at the suggestion of HR when I talked to them. And lastly, also, any work-related accident or injury involving town vehicle equipment and/or property where it can be demonstrated that the use of alcohol, and again we added marijuana products or illegal drugs or any intoxicants, may have been a contributing factor will result in disciplinary action, which may include penalties up to and including termination of employment.
This is all the same other than the addition of
The addition of marijuana products.
Okay,
Yeah.
just to be clear.
Right, and the last one is section 907 that has to be added this is a recent New York State law. It's a reproductive health decision-making section. There's a link for it. It has to do with complicated mess. It had to do with gender and several other items.
Well, that's not one that we can wiggle on anyways.
We have to add it.
Exactly.
That's a mandate from the state.
All
So-
they're doing is adding that website.
Right.
Right.
We're just adding that link to it. So, what's the pleasure of the board to add these to the,
So moved.
okay, Don? Have a second?
I'll second.
Kurt, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved, thank you. All right, to the nitty gritty. Mr. Gardner?
Actually, I'd like to have, Living ADK make a little
Yes.
talk here.
Congrats are in order.
Sounds exciting.
Good news. Living ADK is pleased to formally announce the receipt of a $250,000 grant award through the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation on behalf of the town of Webb for the expansion of the mountain bike trail system at the Macaulay Mountain Recreation Center. This grant application, submitted back in July, was a collaborative effort for Living ADK, including Kurt Gardner, David Bergstresser, and the rest of the town council, Macaulay Mountain manager Steve Eustavinas, Mike Farmer of the Old Forge Tourism and the Old Forge Tourism Office, the Central Adirondack Association, and Chuck Schweitzer and the team of Adirondack Foothills Trails Alliance. Additionally, as part of the application, we received letters of support from Web Supervisor David Bergstresser, the CAA, Living ADK, Herkimer County Legislature, Assemblyman Robert Smullen, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, and Senator James Tedisco. Assemblyman Smullen even made a site visit to the Macaulay Mountain Recreation Center to understand the magnitude of importance this grant would mean to the plan of making Macaulay Mountain a family mountain biking destination and another great asset to Herkimer County, the town of Webb, and surrounding communities. Living ADK looks forward to administering this grant alongside our partners over the next year. And congratulations to Dan for taking this application on after being here such a short amount of time. As you know, he started mid-June. So he did a lot of the legwork along with our partners, Kurt and Chuck and other folks, Mike. And in looking over the application, you know, I kind of took the role of getting the letters of support and just kind of doing a review, but for his first time, he did a fabulous job, and I'm very proud of him,
Absolutely.
and I think everybody else should be proud of him. So congratulations to everybody, and we look forward to helping you continue.
Honestly,
carry the
bikes up.
Thank you. You guys
Yeah.
did great.
Yeah, I think
That
they got it already.
It was awesome. Everybody that was involved in that was great.
There'll be more.
Now the real work begins.
Yeah, exactly.
Kurt, is there a plan for the use of the funds?
Yeah, so the board adopted a master plan back 2 years ago.
Right. It's in the master plan?
So it's basically, this is the master plan that's being funded towards
The mountain.
Right? Yeah.
the additional
Right.
plans that we had in place. So we were shovel ready is one of the big
Excellent.
factors for this, is that, you know, because we had the plans in place, we had letters of support and you know, APTA was a huge factor of what work they've already done. So the proof of concept already was there, that it's obviously working. So
So is it an expansion of the trails, or is it upgrades?
yeah, expansion.
All the above.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, so it's at
Great.
least 7 miles
Oh,
of
wow.
additional trails. There's 25 miles now there. So it has to be bidded out. And APTA can also still do work up there too. So we'll see how it actually shakes out in the end. But
Right.
roughly speaking, if you put rough numbers together, it basically accomplishes 7 miles depending on terrain and how things work out, because
Right.
you don't know until you start digging, really. But either way, it's super exciting, and I think it's an awesome win for the community. There's a tremendous amount of people that live here that, you know, bike it and hike it, and you know, cross country ski, snowshoe. I mean, if you haven't been out there, it's breathtaking. There's beautiful sitting areas that they've built out there with Adirondack chairs and picnic tables and breathtaking views. The backside of Macaulay Mountain is absolutely gorgeous. If you never have taken a little walk up in there, it's called Road Trip. So that trail was actually paid for by the county, and it's called Road Trip. And it goes around the whole backside from the top of Max back, and it's, I mean, honestly, you don't know you're even in the Adirondacks. You feel like you're out west in some of the spots. Huge beaver meadows, and it's beautiful. So,
Cool.
Nice
so it's a
work.
huge win.
Awesome.
So thank you very much for all your hard work. And then, yeah, I just wanted to thank CAA for the lights on the lakefront and all the volunteers and the town employees that decorated Main Street and all the different areas. I thought it looked awesome this year and everything like that. And so really appreciate all the volunteers and town employees that did that. And boy, that's about it for me. I was shocked to hear. We just found out the news on the grant like an hour ago, or an hour and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we just found out the other day today. I got an email and we were on the. It was kind of funny. You'd think you'd get notified that you awarded a grant. No, you just look at the general email and oh yeah, we got it. We were on the list. So.
Well, you had to go look for it.
So then I called. I'm like, I don't understand. Am I reading this right? And Mike Farmer was standing next to me. And I'm like, well, it's reading like we got it, but I don't believe it because we didn't get a letter or an email or a phone call or anything. And so I started calling a couple people, and Dan made some phone calls, and sure enough,
Yeah, cool. You had to go looking for it on that list.
yeah, it was deep.
Holy
It
smokes.
was
Quite a
deep.
lengthy
Well,
report, it's all little,
Yeah.
I got a big congrats from Don Hall, and I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
Trying to click on the.
So, but exciting.
Cool.
A big win for the community, I think. So
Oh, absolutely.
that's it.
Thank you.
I don't have anything new. This is my last night, so I just want to say thanks for having me represent you for the last 4 years, and I wish everyone the best of luck. That's all I got.
Thank you, Don.
Going to me?
Barbara going next.
All right.
She's out of order, but you can go.
I am totally out of order.
There goes what else.
So, I thought Don Hall was going to be here tonight, so I have nothing to talk about with housing because I didn't prepare myself. So you guys are getting off really easy tonight. I will reach out to Don. I know he had another town meeting that he was trying to not go to so that he could be here. So we did get information from Will Hollister late in the day also
That's
that
all-
they have
that's
the
all.
surveys that they need, the information that they need to continue forward with Railroad Ave. So that is still in the works. I'll have more next time around. I did send an email to Andy and Mike. I don't know if either of you had a chance to see it yet, but once the first of the year hits, I'd love to bring the zoning review back to life and get that updated and off our plates. There's a couple of punch list things that Andy had to look at, but otherwise, we need to add some kind of language about marijuana consumption and sales. Even though the state has stuff, I think it's important that we put that in our own. And then also, there's been a lot of chatter about opening options for apartments or tiny houses on property. If we could look at, see if there's any way that I know not every property would allow that, but if there's ways that we can find housing possibilities, I think that's really important to look at too right now.
I think we touched on that just a little bit, didn't we, about the tiny house?
We might have. I think the biggest thing is making sure that it is only for year-round. The big fear always has been that if we let people put tiny houses or whatever, it's going to become another short-term rental. So that we don't need that. We need year-round. So anyway, that's stuff we can talk about. I know Nancy's looked into scheduling a meeting for short-term rental law. The attorneys want to sit down with us. That's coming in January at some point. And other than that, I want to give a great big thank you to Don and Dave. It has been a pleasure most of the time working with you.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm sure we all agree. Don and I had a kind of conversation yesterday about this where everybody has their strengths and, we don't always agree, but we have come together really well, I think, and accomplished a lot of things in the last 4 to 6 years. So thank you to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Don?
Done. Oh, stop.
Michael? Oh, he's got a whole page.
Oh, I
See?
got lots.
Oh, man.
So, yes, I would like to piggyback on that and definitely would like to say thank you to Supervisor Burke Stresser and Councilman Hale for the time town served on this town board. We all know that it's time consuming, challenging, frustrating, rewarding, all the above. So best of luck to both you guys in the future.
Thanks.
And thank you for all your hard work. I would like to say congratulations to Barbara. She's another grandmother.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey.
Yay.
Snowdeo went well. I would like to thank the town employees, the trail crew. They made me a beautiful track for my kids, but it kind of got washed away in like a quick one day. But we still did what we did, and it was great. And
That was my last snow year.
yeah, that's right. So, but everything went well, and it was a good weekend from what I understand. So
It was great.
I did sit in on the town insurance meeting that we talked to the employees. I guess I want to say I was a little bit frustrated maybe that more of the employees did not show up for that meeting, because I think what they might not have understood is that I think some of them thought that we were changing the insurance, and that wasn't the point. We are not changing anything. We are adding something to it that might benefit a lot of them that they don't understand. So I wish they would have sat in and listened to it, but hopefully it'll kind of get through to them in the next round, which won't be till next year. But anyways, so if the people that were there might explain to some of them, I would appreciate that, and we'll do the same, but I think it's to their benefit. What else have I got, Dave? I got the good stuff. Scott, our DPW department head, Don went out and got some information on the roof down there, and with that information, he went out and solicited for more information, and he has about 4 estimates now for that roof.
Okay.
So that was a good positive. He's working on that, and we're gonna get some prices for that. Sat with Dave on the meeting, trying to get caught up on the streetlight project. So that seems to be all in good.
It's getting there.
Good. Everything's working out well.
I'd like to resuit the phone and grab a few people from National Grid once in a while. But yeah,
It's
it's coming
pretty
along.
positive. The 2 men on-
No, it's coming along.
It's coming, let's go with that.
Yeah.
And the only other thing is that I just wanted to make mention that I plan on going to New York City. I don't know if anybody else is this year, but I would like planning on doing that this year, I think is very positive.
On that.
Other than that, that's it. Thanks.
You would've came.
No problem. Just a note on the health insurance thing. It's the same health insurance, it's just, it's structured, the payment is structured differently. Basically, there's a deductible that is applied in the policy we were offering, where there wasn't any with the original, but we offered to pay the deductible. We set up what they call a health something account, some sort of health savings account for the people. It's a reduction in the cost, so that actually their share of what they put in every month is lessened, so it's a little bit more in their paycheck.
But they pay nothing out of pocket.
Right, and they pay
It's
nothing out.
actually better in that
They pay nothing out of pocket for the first $1,200.
$12,000.
So, and so it's so eventually, hopefully, and it saves the town a lot of money, because the health insurance has gotten out of hand. It was a 9.8% increase this year on a line on your town budget that's over $1 million now. So, for health insurance. So that was that. Street lighting, I did learn something when Mike and I were sitting in on that meeting. And the meeting was about maintenance, how we're going to maintain them. Something it didn't dawn on me, that once we convert them, they're all controlled through Bluetooth, through a computer system. And right now, our electric payment that we pay National Grid is just based on basically an estimate on how much the wattage is in the bulbs, how long, how many hours it's supposedly on at night when it's dark. And so if we have bulbs that are out and not working, we're paying for them to be lit up at the time. Where now, this will go through a computer and it'll be metered. So we'll only be paying for the electric we use in the lights from now on.
And they're LED, right?
And they're all LED, they'll all be LEDs. Hopefully, also, we were going to utilize the ARMs once we purchase them to do some public Wi-Fi down Main Street for people. And then a couple of, and this is all through grant money through the New York Power Authority. And a matching to go with it. And some security cameras aimed at different places. We've had some vandalism at the bathrooms. I wanted to aim a camera there. And, yeah, you can't win. So.
Andy said something about 100% turned on, and then they basically start out, they turn them down to 80% using the power, so that already is a savings. You can play with a lot of stuff with it now.
Well, I think they start out as 70% more
Yeah.
efficient than
Right.
the incandescent, so that's a pretty significant savings.
Yeah, and the lifetime of the bulbs is guaranteed for at least 15 years. You turn them down, that increases the life of the bulb itself. So.
And if there's a light out, they know it.
Yeah, it's all Bluetooth, it's all controlled, so actually if a light goes out, it actually monitors it and tells you whether it's the light itself or the power pack for it, or so it's just going to be significant for us instead of
What's the return on investment? What's your payback?
payback. It's going to take about 13 to 14 years to pay it off, the purchase of it, but it's structured to use what we budget for the street lights now. Once that's done, then we're paying about $54,000 a year for electric, and once we've paid that off, that bill goes to about $13,000. Let me take that back. Plus the maintenance. The maintenance is going to be another, so it'd probably be about $24,000 a year. About half, less than half. Is what we're paying.
Plus
now.
too, that's what they explained.
Yeah. Plus, and there's advantages to it. If you have sections of town where there's nobody around, you can turn the lights way down. Save yourself some money. If you have a traffic accident on Main Street, they can show up with their phones, turn the lights up bright to light up the area where they're working. DPW has a problem at night with a water main break. We can turn the lights up so they can see what they're doing working. So there's a lot of things. We control it. There was an offer from National Grid to come in and convert the lights to LED, but we had to pay for all of it anyway, and we would have no control over it.
So with the savings that you anticipate, are you projecting that buyback or that payoff is going to actually be shorter? You just can't quantify it yet?
I can't quantify it yet because some of it's going to be, we're borrowing the money from them. They finance the whole thing.
Right.
The New York Power Authority financed the whole thing, and it'll be whatever the prime rate is. is what we will pay for it. So that's one. Whether they have to add any new, depending on any light arms, the actual arms themselves, they have to replace. Things like that. So there are a few factors still in there. But for the most part, it's going to be anywhere from 11 to 14 years. We could always use a little bit of excess funds, pay it off early, and start seeing savings sooner.
What was the total cost on that project?
It's going to be anywhere from $400,000 to $490,000. Purchasing the lights themselves, of course, took forever because you have to go through the Public Service Commission. And right now, I'm trying to put all the insurance papers together and workman's comp coverage and a letter of credit. And then their lawyer sent me something, a request, Nancy knows, for something that has to do with the liability insurance that neither one of us could understand. And we sent it to the insurance company, and they said the same thing. Let me see what we can, let's look up some of the other towns that have done this and see what the heck they're looking for. Yeah, it is amazing.
Thank you.
Is there any streetlights?
All of them.
Yeah, so like if there's a couple out on Fletcher or on South Shore, it includes those too?
Oh, we're going
So
to replace
any-
every light in the town of Webb. I think there were 426 streetlights in Stillwater too.
The plan would actually gauge whether we needed all that we had or if there weren't enough in an area so that they would, plan them out better too. So if we have too
You might
many,
see some
they'll
increase in
eliminate some.
luminescence
Yeah.
in certain areas.
It's a different, it also complies with our lighting, with the master plan, because LED lighting is focused now, where the lights you have now are kind of shine 360 degrees. So it'll help with the light pollution.
Be something to add to the, thank you for knowing what I'm thinking,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, the energy, clean energy, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it has a lot of advantages for us in the long run. And as far as your lights, you'll never see that anymore, because when a light goes out, it sends us, it's all monitored through Bluetooth. Every street light will be monitored by Bluetooth, so if it goes out, we're notified. They assured us that any repairs that are needed with the contract we'll have for maintenance will be taken care of within 4 hours, I think it was. They'll be up here within 4 hours, too.
Okay,
Yes.
it remains to be seen.
Yeah,
Well, they're
we're
hiring
gonna
more
get a money
street
back
cone on
guarantee if
that.
they're late.
Yeah.
I might have believed 24 hours.
Well, they are right now doing the city of Utica, Frankfurt, Little Falls, all those towns down. So I'm assuming there's going to be a crew that they will hire that will be on call for this entire Mohawk Valley. Because I laughed too when he said it. And I said, "Yeah, do you have any idea where we are?" He said, "Yeah, I do." So it's hopefully it's going to be beneficial in the long run with it. So, okay, I too, it's been an honor serving the town for the last 6 years. I've enjoyed it. I want to thank the board for making my life easy and miserable at the same time. So. Now these guys have been great to work with. So
Thanks.
I've enjoyed my time here. Time to move on. The campaign got a little nasty. Whoever put the hole in my wife's tire, I didn't appreciate that.
No.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, I will be moving on. One announcement I can make, there will be a public hearing for a band anticipation note for the wastewater treatment plant that'll be at the next meeting in January, I'm hoping.
Okay. I don't know anything about it.
No, it's with the lawyers right now. Miller Mannix, whatever.
Yeah, if it comes to fruition, we're gonna try to.
It's gonna be through them. So he'll have all the information for you.
Perfect. We'll
Set
take care
that
of
in
it.
place,
We
all
will
right?
take care of it then.
So other than that, do we have anything else? Anything from the audience?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Go ahead.
I want to thank both of you very much for all you've done for the community. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
My
And all the
pleasure.
community does
Yep.
as well. Thank you.
I was glad to offer what I could. So. Who was it, Kyle?
I'd also like to thank you, Dave, and Don for your service. Congratulations to Mike. We've talked a few times. I do have a question though.
Sure.
Barb brought up in the zoning review for marijuana consumption in retail. Is the board taking a stance on that before that deadline of December 31st, or?
No, so it's gonna be, we're accepting it, we're
Okay.
allowing it. So what I wanna do is just make sure that we kind of are specifying where we want it, so we don't end up with 7 in a row on Main Street or something like that. It's just to have
Sorry,
controls.
guys,
Right, that's
Well, you won't have to.
what I meant with the exception of allowing it within the town
Sorry.
or disagreeing with the.
No, we didn't do any of that, and
Okay.
we can't make it so difficult that they can't operate if we didn't opt out.
Right.
You know, I mean, we could get in trouble for that, so it's not that, it's really just, same as with bars and restaurants, we just wanna control where they're situated.
Keep it out of the residential areas.
Right.
It doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
I don't think we should have it at all, but that's just me.
I mean, there's a list a mile long of requirements that go with it.
Right.
The only choice we had was to opt out. If we wanted to opt out, we opt out. Otherwise, you default to, here it is.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think the tax revenue will be significant.
Yes,
Very much so.
hopefully.
I think the tax rate's 20%, right?
13.
Or
That's
either way.
still
it's a
13
lot.
is.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
I thought I heard to get into it was pretty expensive.
Like 200 grand.
Probably.
200
250?
grand for the license.
Yeah.
Non-refundable,
50.
non-refundable.
Which is pretty significant.
And
Yeah.
a $20,000
Application.
registration fee.
It's gotta be good stuff.
I mean, you have to do a business model and figure out if that's gonna work for you.
So is that 13% sales tax, New York State
Sales tax,
sales
yeah.
tax, so you'd get a portion of it back? Is that
We
how
get,
that works?
we get a portion of it and the county gets
County,
a
of
portion
course.
of it.
Was it 4%?
Or no, the state, I'm sorry. The state gets 9%, we get
The
4%.
town
Oh,
gets
they get
4%.
nine? I
Yeah.
thought we got 9.
No, we get
Well,
4.
that would be nice to get that.
County's taking the bigger one.
Yeah, county or
Always.
state, I can't remember which. We get 4% of it. So,
I think the county gets less. We get the bigger, the towns get the bigger chunk, and then the county gets a little bit smaller than what we get, and then the state gets the big chunk.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what the numbers are either.
But
it's 13%.
4% of the town gets.
I didn't pay much attention because
And, well,
we didn't opt out. Yes,
I just didn't wanna, leave without reminding people I got a bag of beets. I'm gonna bring them up to the front,
only an Old Forge.
free beets for all.
Free beats.
Do the deer like them?
Oh, jeez.
Probably.
I think you'll eat anything.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Mask mandate.
Mhm.
We're going by what New York State is mandating, the town isn't
Right
adding
now,
anything
yeah.
else to that? Because I have lot of programs going on at North Street coming up.
From what I can understand, it's masks are required and you can show proof of vaccination. And again, same as all last year, I got nothing from the county other than we're seeing what we can do to get out of it and, plan on enforcing it. So,
And
But if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to take somebody's registration, you're gonna have to make a table of it, and
right.
you're gonna have to play secretary to do that. Otherwise, they're wearing a mask, right?
Right.
I mean, yeah, you're supposed to.
I mean, I'm not.
I've started doing
Proof of
that.
vaccination,
Written proof.
if you're
of
not gonna
vaccination.
check vaccinations at the door, then
Then
everybody has to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't
And
have
what
to
about
document them.
kids, are we going by the school policy for sports? Or how are we looking at?
What I saw was anybody over 2, I think, had to be masked unless written proof of vaccination.
Same thing for kids
Yeah.
in sports.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
It's changed today, if you watch the news
Did
today.
it? There you go.
Today's news was changed, so at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whatever it
Thank you, I have
was,
no idea.
the news changed, so please watch the news tonight, because it is basically, she's saying, it's up to people. And then our county said that they are not going to enforce because they cannot.
You're right.
So if you're vaccinated, if you have a booster, if, you know what I mean, it's your comfort level in our store. We do wear a mask because people that don't live here. We know that everyone in this room, because he worked on the vaccination
Right.
thing, is vaccinated, so that's fantastic. But in our store, when someone comes in, I wear a mask
I don't know.
because I don't know anybody. You know what I mean? So I think that's more common sense maybe for people. I don't know what the comfort levels are, but in this room, I thought it was okay.
I would say as far as when the kid comes to the kids, like school-age kids, I would follow the school policy.
Right.
You know, whatever the school policy is as far as wearing masks, which if it's the younger kids that are unvaccinated, then when they're playing sports together in close quarters, we should be following the same rules in that.
So it's not
in that
confusing.
because, you know, so we're
Yeah,
not
for that.
contradicting what's happening in school with them. That's,
The worst day at Park Ave is Friday, DMV, getting people from 8 different states coming in there,
Right.
hanging out in the hallway, so.
Yeah.
I know my staff, we will wear a mask going into the building, but once we get into our office, it's optional.
I mean, I had to think hard about it for mental health reasons. You know, how much longer can we keep? We did what we were told, we got vaccinated, and then some didn't, opted not to. And
Our
there's only-
county just got to 50% vaccination rate.
Mhm.
Herkimer County is, one of the worst in New York State. It might be the worst, and we just achieved a 50% vaccination rate.
Mhm.
but in the North Country up here, though, we're
Much better.
Yeah, we're way
90
ahead.
something. How many?
That
Yes.
is not accurate,
That's not.
no. But we are good. We are much better than the rest of our county.
And if you think about it, since we're so much better than the rest of the county, it's gotta be horrible down below. So, in order to achieve that average. But,
And it continues.
So is there a requirement in town offices now? at
a
all?
mask unless you
Is
can
it just
show
up to
proof.
who had it?
No.
Oh, so there is?
I talked to Mike over there and he's decided that everybody has to stay masked up because of the foot traffic, which is so many people in and out. Same for him. I don't know what his policy, it's optional, I think, if nobody's in there, I'd assume. But I think when people come in, they put their mask on and everybody has to be masked that comes in.
Generally, I haven't had a problem in the code office. People come in and if they see Tina or one of us wearing a mask, they usually put it right on if it wasn't already on. So I haven't had any confrontational issues. But
Again, it's gonna be common sense, comfort levels. All right, for now, right now, all I've told the department heads is, everybody tell them they have to mask up unless they can show you proof of vaccination. Written.
You talking your employees or
No,
public?
public. And it's hard to enforce,
For sure.
you know, it really is. I mean, how much time are you gonna take out when people, like the information center, they're filing in and out of there constantly. So you can't exactly stand somebody at the door. So.
Signs are pretty effective.
Yeah. And that's what's up, mask or proof of vaccination. Okay, anything else? Town clerk?
I'll go now.
Thank you.
So we have a letter from Polar Bears to the board. They would like to request the town continue to extend the free ski pass for each coach per 10 kids. At this time, they have 29 alpine skiers. They'd like to also extend our club the season's pass discount of $259 for any additional coach or club pass they need to purchase. List of names will be emailed to Steve Eustabinas for his review and approval. Steve's already seen this. He does approve of this. Polar Bear Ski Club will continue to practice Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 2:10 to 3:10 to close. In addition, they're going to practice on the mountain Saturday 9 to 12, coach free skiing and gate training in the afternoons from 2 to 4. They are communicating directly with Steve. Like I said, he did review this for the training on the afternoon. So they want to make sure the board is still on board with the free ski passes for each coach for the per 10 kids. And the rate of $259.
Mike and I did meet with them and Steve, and all of this was agreed. And
Do we need a
asked them.
motion on that, or?
Last year we just did a nod. Is everyone okay?
maybe that's something we
Y'all
can
good with it?
practice in.
That's the best thing we got going.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. It is.
And McCully was one of very few mountains that was open the other day.
You're right, there's a lot of ski mountains in New York, and actually, some more than a lot, any other state.
Yeah.
And we had, Macaulay was open and a lot of them weren't open.
Yeah.
So we were really fortunate to
Mhm.
have Macaulay for that.
That's all I got.
And that was painless.
Painless.
Get paid bills and
All right, so I need a motion to pay the audited claims.
so moved.
Don, Barb, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Don?
I'll second it. You might want to do
All
that,
in
eh?
favor? No, that's all right. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.